A pretty unexpected 12 hours in the world of Newcastle United, as it was reported yesterday out of Turkey that Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce are interested in Newcastle's Lloyd Kelly. Fast forward a couple of hours, reports coming out that Fenerbahce had placed a £6 million bid for the Newcastle defender Lloyd Kelly. Fast forward to this morning, and it's reported by the Telegraph, Luke Edwards, that Newcastle have rejected that £6 million bid. Yes, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Early start today, up, talk about this, work, and then we are back at St James's Park tonight, where Newcastle take on Wolves. I will be there under the lights, normal vlog, reaction, and everything else. So if you're not subscribed, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But as I say, Lloyd Kelly, keep or sell? Let me know in the comments of this video. The January transfers window so far for Newcastle, I think we can agree, has been somewhat quiet. I mean, it has been across the whole league. PSR FFP has totally ruined January transfer window, for the lack of a better word. The most we've been talking about really is about our 36-year-old second choice goalkeeper. First choice now, Martin Dubravka, but a lot of the talk has been sell to buy. That's what everyone's been talking about. Linking the likes of Almiron out, linking Longstaff out, which again is like homegrown player stuff. Then you've been linking Harvey Barnes out. We only bought him 5 minutes ago. He scores every time he plays. And I agree, he doesn't necessarily fit our style of playing and is struggling to get in the side ahead of Anthony Gordon, but he's still a very good player. Now, it's Lloyd Kelly. And this one comes with a little bit of a twist, because as we know, Newcastle paid nothing for Lloyd Kelly. You talk about selling homegrown players because you get the full market value, etc., etc. Well, Lloyd Kelly, we paid nothing for. Could selling, arguably a backup centre-back who, by all means, didn't give a great account of himself in the game at the weekend, could he actually be our option to sell, make a bit of cash and have either money to spend this January or in the summer, or even just, as Darren Eales has called it, player trading? Try not to get emotionally attached. Brought someone in for nothing, sold them on for more. Brought Minty in for 7 million, sold them for 35. And then you just this constant ball rolling. Is this something that Newcastle should be considering? And is I think for me, I would say, despite the fact that we paid nothing, I would still argue that 6 million is a little bit low. I think if Newcastle had an offer of around 10, I think I would take it. The other side of the coin, obviously, is that he was brought in for a reason. We brought him in for nothing. The idea was never that Lloyd Kelly was going to come in and be the centre-back alongside Sven Botman. Newcastle, in fact, are trying to buy a centre-back right now to play second fiddle to Shaw on the right-hand side of defence. Sven Botman, Dan Burn left, Shaw right, somebody else. Which technically speaking, leaves Kelly out of the equation. But we didn't bring Lloyd Kelly in, in my opinion, to really be, a starter. He was always going to be a backup. And it's not worth having someone that we paid nothing for as a backup for the next 3 or 4 years. Happy to let him step in as and when he's needed. We aren't going to sell Lloyd Kelly for 10 million and go and buy somebody better than him for 10 million. Again, with PSR and how that the 3-year rolling thing works, as if we sold Kelly for 10 million, then technically the more money we spend on the next player, you can pay off over so many years and all that kind of thing. Sorry, shut the window there. Someone's honking their horn outside this morning. So someone's obviously off to a great start today. But yeah, is it not worth keeping a hold of someone we paid nothing for if they're going to be a backup and we're probably going to struggle to spend that amount to replace them? The other thing as well is Shaw is coming to an end of his deal. They reckon they're going to give him a new contract, but he's 32, 33 now. Dan Burn, similar. I think he's got a year left next season, and he's 32, 33. So you've got two players there who have done fantastically well this season, and as far as they're doing well, keep playing them and keep giving them an next year on the contract. As far as I'm concerned, if they're playing well, what do they say? If you're young enough, you're good enough. However old you are, if you're playing Premier League level at the standard they're playing right now, I'm in no rush to move them on. However, let's just say that it's not this summer, but it's next summer. Maybe that's something we can, kick the can down the road just a little bit further. Sell Kelly now, get the money in. We'll worry about the replacement of our centre-backs in a year and a half's time. But the point I'm making is that Kelly is probably being sold from Eddie Howe the idea that, look, you won't be starting straight away. But we've got two players here who are getting a little bit older. Lascelles, for me, is as much as he was improving at the back end of coming back into the team before he got injured. So you're kind of looking at Lascelles, Shaw and Byrne, probably a year or two left. And then you've only got Botman. Again, are we going to just worry about all of that later? Because it's worth having the money for Kelly now, we could buy somebody else later? Or is the fact that we paid nothing for this guy not just what we needed? It's also worth taking into consideration the fact that Kelly is reportedly on very high wages, which is somewhat expected, because if you get anybody for a free these days, you pay them more for the wages, because you're basically kind of paying the transfer fee through them having a bigger wage. Now, we're not going to be paying like that extortionate. Well, they reckon reports are he's up there with Bruno and Isak on wages, which I don't believe. It can't be true. I think he's probably getting paid more. The likes of Target as well, they reckon he's on a decent chunk. I think Kelly's probably on more than Lascelles, maybe more than Byrne and Shaw, but I would hope that he's not on quite the Sven Botman, Brunos and Isaks of the squad. But that's consideration as well. We're getting a transfer fee and we're moving a big wage off the books. It's definitely one to think about. From Lloyd Kelly's point of view, though, does he want to go to Fenerbahce? That's a big question. He's literally just joined. They reckon he's on a huge wage. He's probably been sold this idea. Like, I don't think Lloyd Kelly's probably sitting there. I feel he should be. I hope he is chomping at the bit to get onto the pitch. But I think he's probably not daft enough to know that when he came in, Newcastle already had some good defenders who were playing well, and he was probably going to have to wait his time. Has he kind of been sold the dream that he's going to have to wait anyway? The question is really, is he willing to wait? And is a chance to go to play under Jose Mourinho in a side who gets European football and would likely start in that side. I mean, that's going to be a pull for a player. Can Fenerbahce match the wages that Newcastle are paying him? That's the next question. And how big is the money to Kelly? Does Kelly want to go play first-team football at a European side who, from all accounts, seems to just be buying loads of Premier League players from looking at the squad list and have centre-backs already. So apparently they need one more. I think the reports are that Mourinho wants this left-sided centre-back, which is why they've been linked to Diego Carlos from Aston Villa. Is Kelly a legit alternative? Well, I think it was the vice president of Fenerbahce said that they are interested in him, but then he would say that if they're trying to get Aston Villa's backup to sell them Diego Carlos. So there you go. That was a bit of a whirlwind video this morning with a cup of tea before I head out this morning, talking about what, as I say, has been a pretty mad 12 hours, very unexpected. And as I said right at the start of this video, let me know your thoughts on Lloyd Kelly. Would you let him go? Would you not? If we did let him go, do you think 6 million's enough because we paid nothing for him? Or is that? I think that's still not us. I think fair enough, we paid nothing for him, but these opportunities come up not very often. Newcastle were lucky to get him for nothing. If he'd been at Bournemouth, if we'd bought him from Bournemouth the year prior, I think he'd paying 10, 15 million. I don't think we would have got him off Bournemouth for 6 million. So I think it's low-balled. It's a player that, fair enough, isn't needed right now, but is not far from starting if there was an injury. And if we sold him for 6, we're not replacing him for 6. Like, it's very unlikely if we sold Lloyd Kelly this January, we would actually go and replace him. It would just be money in the bank for the summer. So the question is are we happy to hang on to Sven Botman, Byrne, Shaw, Kraft? You let me know your comments down below. Right, I'm off. Thanks for watching, guys. As I say, subscribe if you haven't already. Back later on today for the Wolves game. And I'll catch you later.